Okay, today's been a busy day uploading videos, and in the beginning of the first episode I talked about ODOT's plans to tax drivers by the mile. They're going to have a pilot test program that's going to be starting in July of 2015, and they're looking at the possibility of using Wi-Fi or cell phones, things of that nature, not necessarily a black box in order to keep track of how much or how many miles someone has driven. In addition to that, I mentioned briefly in the last show, and someone commented that they're going to make these autonomous analyzing programs trendy. And the person that gave me that information, the person that went to that conference in July of 2014, where all these representatives from tech companies, automobile companies, electric car companies, the federal government, the state of Oregon, as well as officials for the city of Portland, they're all getting together and having these large conferences. The technology has already been unraveled to have this stuff in the new cars. Of course, they've talked about this stuff for many decades, but they're closer to whatever it is that they're doing. My question to you is, what do you think the big brother applications of this are going to be, either right out of the gate or maybe later on down the line, or other potential implications? Some of the stuff's fairly obvious. Of course, we're turning to technology. We're turning towards something that can be controlled, can be traced, tracked, controlled, shut off by the government, or perhaps other things potentially sabotage. Not to mention mind control. What are these technologies, the Wi-Fi and whatever else will be in these autonomous electric cars or other cars, not just electric cars? How might that impact human brain wave activity and behavior, for that matter? All these questions and more we may want to look at. We certainly should. I'm doing the best I can with what I've got to work with. I'm trying to get busy again, reporting on news and other events. This is one story we probably should look at: the rise of autonomous cars. It's not a new topic, but on a local level, this fits in with all these other plans that they have and ways that they're changing Portland. And certain things are getting tested here and other places before they get released the rest of the country. So this is kind of like a testing range of multiple things. Multiple different things are being tested here, and there's a certain demographic that is going to be open to that. Is going to be open to the idea of, for increased safety, have some sort of, technology embedded in your car that will foresee an accident ahead of time and will swerve just in time to save your ass. But the question is, when you have cars communicating with each other, if there's some sort of a situation where if one car turns a certain way, it could be dangerous to the other car, who's deciding in that split-second situation where potentially both people could get hurt pretty bad? Who decides, and how does the computer decide how one car is going to go one way and one's going to go the other, and have a guarantee that the computer is making the right decision? Seems like we're putting a little bit too much faith in robotics, and I think that's an understatement. So there's lots of potential for this to go wrong, and I'm curious what your thoughts are on how this is going to be unraveled and where we're going to go from here.